Well, hello everybody, it's Foxy speaking, and in this video, it is an important video over recent circumstances, as we all know has happened. As many of us know, we have sadly lost our beloved and well-liked late Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, who sadly passed away peacefully at Balmoral Castle Estate, Scotland, on Thursday of the 8th of September 2022 at the ripe old age of 96. As we all know, it was like nearly our whole lives we'd known Her Majesty the late Her Majesty the Queen. All of my grandparents were alive when our late Her Majesty took the throne following the death of her father, King George VI. And then the following year, in 1953, it was her special coronation, as we all remember. It is a sad time of profound loss and great mourning. Our late Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II served not only well of our country as Queen in her reigning tenure in the British hierarchical monarch of not just Britain itself, or including the entirety of the United Kingdom, but within the whole Commonwealth, where there were other countries represented within her Commonwealth, as many of us know, which could include Canada and very many other countries, or territories expanded throughout the global world, and all that. As we all know, we are to expect the late Her Majesty's funeral on Monday, the 19th of September 2022, as was on the news in recent days. And effective immediately, we've now got our new British hierarchical monarch, His Majesty King Charles III, whom at 73 years of age is our oldest ever person to take such a throne and such responsibilities, having to wait over 70 years since his mother took the throne as Queen back in February of 1952, reigning with that title until September of 2022, 70 years later. Not only did our Queen serve our country well as other territories well, she was of great popularity, of positive popularity more likely. She was very well liked by our nation, our Commonwealth, and was just loved by the world. And her loss is a huge loss to our world. It is of profound impact, really. Is of tremendous impact, if one may elaborate, losing Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II. It really is of profound impact, dramatic, big, profound impact, really. It's like losing a friend we've known for such a long time, even though there are many people who have not met the Queen, and some who have, but obviously in like the royal trooping events, or whenever she is visiting a certain town, though with restricted barriers and protection and all the rest of it due to excess fame, as we all know, and everything. She had dedicated not only her whole entirety of her duties to our nation as well as the Commonwealth, but she was a good example to the world as well as the British royal family itself. Not only is her loss of profound sadness and upheaval for the royal family, but for the world at the same time, as we know. May our days of mourning her until the very day of her funeral be done in great solidarity and the deepest of respect. And may we feel grateful that we now have a new British hierarchical monarch taken with immediate effect, having now our His Majesty King Charles III. May we be appreciative of him. And I think King Charles III will just be our fantastic monarch. He was a wonderful prince, did so many wonderful things, Prince Charles, now King Charles, but when he was Prince Charles of Wales. May we cherish the time we have of King Charles III alongside his dearly beloved wife, Camilla, newly appointed his Queen-Consort. King Charles and his wife, now the Queen-Consort, will just be of a profound influence and just fantastic for for the British countries of England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, as well as other countries and territories in the Commonwealth. With his firm holding grip of all the Commonwealth territories and countries in his reigning tenure as the British hierarchical monarch in the latest of history right now, he will just get through this with profound diligence, decency and real pride, and he will just most certainly be fantastic, and I am most definitely 100% looking forward to seeing his coronation, hopefully in 2023, but we just don't know when it's going to happen yet. I've had some friends, and I even had a relative about 4 or 5 years ago or so, who once said I was very Prince Charles-like, as I was in a hospital with a few relatives of mine visiting a very, very ill relative at the time, and I'd not been in that hospital before, and I was looking around, observing. I was like, oh wow, I was like, this is certainly quite a good and interesting little hospital. And he'd overheard me making my opinionated statement on what I thought when I was observing all around me in the all that was around me in the hospital. And he was like, that's something Prince Charles would say. And you were acting very much like Prince Charles. He said, you were quite dressed like him and you were talking like him. I was quite surprised, as I've never considered myself as very Prince Charles-like. And then about a couple of years later, I was doing a special Christmas video for Dave and Sally Abel, as I was very thankful for them for all the entertainment they provided in the darkest times of the COVID mess, that Christmas of that time in 2020. And one of my friends, or one of Dave and Sally's participants, also their friend and my friend as well, she said to me, oh, you are so Prince Charles-like. You are so Prince Charles-like, Foxy. And I was surprised. I was like, but I was very appreciative of her compliments towards me. I was like, well, thank you, Kathy. It was Kathy McKay from Canada, which is where the lovely Heather and her dearly loved son comes from, as we all know it. And Canada obviously is a part of the British hierarchical monarch of the Royal Commonwealth, as we know, along with other countries and territories around the world. Our Queen was not only a friend to the United Kingdom within its entirety, but speaking on a globally pointed out perspective, she was a friend to all of us globally. As she lays to rest, and as she's at peace, now reuniting with her late husband, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, there is certainly one thing we should say. It's a famous line from the 1980s and 1990s American sitcom The Golden Girls, which is said at the beginning of its introduction song, which should be said in honour of our late Her Majesty the Queen. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend globally to all of us around the world. In honorary of our late Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, thank you for being a friend most profoundly. And another important message, as we may say, is long live King Charles III! Long live the King! Long live King Charles III! Long live the King! Long live King Charles III! But whilst we're but obviously at the same time, respectfully mourning the most profoundly saddening loss of Her Majesty the Queen, as many could have expected her to live as long as her mother, the Queen Mother, who lived to be over 100, who died 20 years before her daughter. But obviously, no matter how well many elderly people look, many can go quite suddenly before one knows it, before one's eyes. Sad as it may be, this is the reality of life as we come to terms. So as we come to terms with the saddening loss of our late Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, as her success came in all shapes and sizes in the most positive, profound way as anyone could imagine and so be thinking so, it's our time to reflect, to be thankful, as well as certainly prior to the funeral, most very, very vitally. And one last time, in our deepest respects, since the passing of our late Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, thank you for being a friend. May you rest in peace. And long live to King Charles III, alongside Camilla, the newly appointed Queen-Consort. And this is a very important message, a very vitally important message over this vital time as we come to terms with this saddening world loss, as it is really a deep world loss, as we know. Yes. And it's very important that not only people like myself make videos like this, but other YouTubers, no matter what types of contents they make and all that within their YouTubing contents, make videos like this as an important recommendation. Yes. And one last time, in respect for our late Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, thank you for being a friend, and thank you for all that you have done for the United Kingdom as well as other parts of the world, to the very good royal events, the intense royal duties, royal ceremonies and royal openings, the trooping march, in which many people in the United Kingdom and around the world are profoundly grateful for, and everything you've done and all that you've done whilst you have served as Queen so well. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a royal, global and profound friend. And long live King Charles III, since succeeding our late Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. It's a very, very important video, this one, and certainly if one's making a video in special honour of our late Her Majesty the Queen, it is vitally important that they do it in the most utmost of respect, as one could expect. Thanks all for watching, and in loving memory of our late Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, 1926 to 2022, serving as our wonderful noble Queen from the 6th of February 1952 until her very death, 70 years later on the 8th of September 2022, just 3 months after her Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Thanks all for watching, and may all of our respects go to the royal family in honour of our late Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.